Who wants to see a new project for the new year? You've all seen this lot before. I'll quickly run down what I've got left. I've sold a few bits off. Then we'll crack into a new project in a bit. And this one, I'm dead excited about. Let's do this. So excuse the rather excitable introduction, but I'm quite excited to get a new project on my channel. Quick rundown, 1 minute maximum of this lot, and I'll take you into the new one. The bike you didn't want for Christmas, video up here. If you want it, 100 quid. Chopper Mark II, go nowhere. Chopper Mark II, crossover, project later in the year. Mark 1 grifter, need a few little bits on it. I've turned down 2 offers at £200 each. Minute, I'm happy to keep it. The Mark 1 red burner isn't yet advertised. I might keep it, not sure. If you want it, drop me a message. Decent price, I'll let it go. OSW Mark 2, Mark 3, not sure. It tells you there. Let's have a look. It's an OSW Mark 3, Mark 2. Anyway, a subscriber reached out and said, do you want mudguards? I've got mudguards for it. Video of that coming in the new year. Later on, I'm going to do some weekly ride outs on that, visiting parts of the area, pub stops, etc. The little turquoise mag with the skyways, going nowhere. Again, if you want it, reach out, drop me a message. I'll do you a deal on that. Yeah, so I said to myself, you know, the Mark II infrared has gone, the world's rustiest chopper. Sold that last year. I think I made a drink out of it, but I learned a lot. More importantly, I learned a lot from that bike. Tools, how things work, you know, come apart and so on. So I went on eBay, as you do. After 6 rum and cokes, doubles, yeah, I probably bought one of the worst choppers I've seen. Botched job, damaged. It's got an exhaust clamp as a seat bolt. It's beyond any sort of comprehension. But if there's one man who can turn it around and make it look half decent, it's Dealer Mike. Let's get into it. And there we are. What a complete mess. It was on eBay for about a week. I watched it and kept watching it. Other people watched it, and I thought to myself, at some point, someone's going to buy it. Someone's going to send in a cheeky little bid. I'll put the screenshot now up the left-hand corner of its asking price, but no way was I going to pay that for it. I sent the lad a cheeky little bid, and it arrived in the post a week later. Let's get it on the bench and try and work out where we begin. There it is. Let's zoom out a little bit. That's it. Don't know what I think of it really. Everything is seized on it. You got a damaged chain, obviously. Mud guards are completely buggered. Gears work though. What did you say about it? On the plus side, I may have already sold, believe it or not, I may have already sold the seat. I had a message from someone who's building a wall hanger rusty chopper, and he wants this seat, which in turn he'll want the seat bolt. That's a seat post from a burner. You can tell by the bit there. Exhaust clamp seat bolt. Don't know what's happened here. We got a bit of damage to the housing for the gear selector. Yeah, various little holes and so on. What's this here? I don't know, don't like it at all. Don't know what's happening there to that bracket. Right, let's get some WD-40 on it. Little trusty WD. And someone's already had a go at cotter pins. Look, can you see that? The cotter pin's already been battered out. Look. Yeah, let's get some rims. Are twisted, so the wheels are scrap. He may want the wheel. I'd happily sell him the wheel as it is. The front wheel is completely buggered as well. So in theory I could sell. Obviously you're going to lose that hub date, but is it really worth a bother? I could sell him both wheels. He wants a seat. I could sell him a back mudguard. And then you've got a percentage of the money back, which means then the purchase price of this chopper, which would just be the frame, the bars, the crank, that to me doesn't appear to be damaged. But we'll get the tape off in a bit. But yeah. Is it bent there as well? Look, oh bugger me, look, it's bent there, look. Oh yeah, that bit's pushed down, that bit needs to go back down again, yeah. Let's do a thumbnail of it and get it. Let's try and get this thing back together. So it came with a front wheel, and that again is really damaged, spokes bent, buckles, corrosion, holes. That is beyond repair. That really is beyond repair. But like anything in life, someone always wants these things. Original hub, but yeah, thankfully I've got another front wheel in the garage I can put on that red one. But yeah, that is on offer to the chap who wants the broken parts. Front mudguard it came with, obviously not standard, but that to me looks like a RSW mudguard. That clip there, that housing certainly is. But yeah, if he wants that again, he can take them. Now that sissy bar needs freeing up, because I bet that is completely stuck in. So, but I need the weight on the back, so I'm going to keep the back wheel on for as long as I can. Because when you're moving the sissy bar, you want some weight to push down on, if you can imagine. So that back wheel's going to come in handy. Again, with the bars, ideally you want to put some weight on the front. So I'll be putting the front wheel on there just to get some weight down. But I think in the meantime, let's try and get that seat removed. Let's get that seat removed. Let's put some WD on it for it to soak for a bit. I'll make a coffee. Let's just try and free up some bits. Ain't gonna hurt in the meantime to move some brake calipers, that sort of thing. Updates on other bikes. So the Super Burner, video of that coming out later in the week, maybe the weekend. That's in bits and garage. That's having a full dismantle and clean up. The Mark II original paint red burner, I sold that actually last night. Sent out an offer to some watchers and sold that last night. So yeah, looking good. Right, let's try and get some bits off this. This time I'll try and keep my nuts and bolts, because I always lose them. Front caliper, lovely. Front brake caliper. Missing there's blocks. The blocks are still there, look. How cool is that? Look, so they rusted away. A whole lot's rusted away, look. Fascinating. Probably the easiest part I'll remove on this bike. Back caliper, black Raleigh brake blocks on them. Yeah, interesting. So we got a little makeshift gear cable clamp. Looks like a, I'm no car mechanic, but is that like a thing you use for a cable, a Jubilee clip, is it? Is that what you call Jubilee clip? I think it might be. Right, little Jubilee clip. Let's get that off. We can cut that tape there. That's holding on the gear cable. And then we can cut this tape here. If I think this bike is really going to be questionable, then I'll sell that gear selector, get it gone, get some money back. Oh yeah, let's get that tape. So this is interesting. This is a Mark II chopper. It dates from the late 70s. So the little lad or kid, whoever it was, put green tape over the gear cable, then put red tape over. That green tape there hasn't seen the light of day for literally decades. Unfortunately, I need to remove it, don't I? As harsh as it is, I need to get that green tape off. Because it's just the way it is. If a gear table didn't need replacing, I would have kept it on. But yeah, I'll be keeping that anyway, because it's nice to keep it. Right, the money shot. Well, what you guys want to see. And those who may watched it as well, watched the auction, they want to see, don't they, what state this is in. Because I certainly do. Just excuse the sunlight there. So we got a bit of damage there. So the frame's basically bent, which in turn has pushed this up. But let's get this gear selector out and see what we got to play with. So I've removed the exhaust clamp seat bolt. I'm keeping that, it's quite cool. But look at this, look. How is this for a remarkable bit of luck? Watching? You see that? Hang on. No seized seat post. That seat post moves. And that's not attached to that either. So this seat can come off. That seat's not even attached, is it? Is that attached to that? It's hard to say. Oh, happy days. Look at that, look. Look at this. How amazing is that? That seat post is well short. This is happening as you see it. Look. That seat post is well short. That's made my job an awful lot easier. I can now access that city bar. Excuse the camera angle here, but this is happening as I see it. That sun is dreadful, I apologise. But look at that, look at this. I can now access everything. I can now get a bit of WD down to that sissy bar, get these seat bolts, sissy bar clamps removed. Yeah, that's made my job a hell of a lot easier. Yes. Right, I'm gonna message my mate to see if he still wants a seat. He might do. But yeah, cracking result. Cracking. Now you guys know I love original paint. It's never going to get restored, that bike. It's not going to get refurbished. No, resprayed. Obviously it needs replacement wheels. I've got a front wheel for it. I've got a plan. Let's show you. And moving on, you've got a bit of damage there. So you got a big dent in that top tube. But is it worth fixing? I'm not saying I won't try, or I may not consider trying, but I need to get a new arm in there. That gear console is complete. You've got a ripped cable, which is complete. You've got no damage to the seat tube. Looks to be okay. I can still use the existing Jubilee clip. I can keep all the little bits original. You've got some cracking paint in that. It's got various little knocks, and obviously it's missing its front heron badge, but look at that. Look at that front heron badge. The rust on that. What is wrong with just... I've got a rough front wheel. Stick a front wheel on it. I can go onto the Facebook forums and ask, has anybody got a really rough, and it annoys me because I've had them in the past, I've sold them on, but has anybody got a really bad condition back wheel for a Mark II? Don't care what date, just as long as it's back wheel. The sissy bar, again, some little kid went to the effort of moving it about. Obviously that should be the other way around, but that sissy bar, I don't think it will take much to come out because it's already moving, isn't it? I think with a bit of work, half hour, that won't take much to come out at all. So I could go down a route of just putting a new seat in it, but yeah. What do you think of that patina on that chopper? Looking good. So I've come over to this part of the garden where it's not so bright. You can see it better. But my thoughts are, right? Okay, so the crank turns. I've got that freed up. Obviously it's got in its original bearings, but in my eyes, those crank arms are straight. And you've got some nice patina on the chrome, some nice aging. Some of these chrome parts will clean up better, but that's a cracking age on that chrome, showing its age. You've got the mudguard. That's got a few little rust holes in it, but it's structurally sound. It's not loose from the frame. You've got the rack, which is clearly very rusty, but it's all there, isn't it? The rear brake caliper, the bolts are still there, the blocks, the stand is freeing up. That's easy. Those who don't know, WD-40 in that pin, an old seat post, and just work it back and forth until you hear that little click, and then that spring, that Toblerone spring, just comes in traction, and then it releases itself. You're sitting on original bearings in the forks. Why go to all the headache of taking those forks out, possible damage? Just leave them be. Leave them be. You got some cracking original paint on that chopper. Obviously it needs Who remembers the little budgie that's still sitting about in the garden? Anyway, you got some cracking paint in that chopper. Let's just leave it as it be. I don't know, what do you think? So, I finished this one off in the garage. You can see the city bar is no more. I was trying to free it up, bit of WD-40, 4x2, bit of wood, and the thing snapped off in my hand. So we now have some sissy bar remains to drill out. It's a time-consuming job, but it's doable. And thankfully, sissy bars, I believe, have fallen in price a little bit. They're slightly cheaper, so we can add now 40 quid to the parts bill, £80 for a seat, 120, 120 quid bar and seat. We need a back wheel at 50, 170. This bike will be complete. I've got a chain guard for it, 170 plus the purchase price. This bike still comes in at an affordable original paint Mark II. I'll be very pleased to get it on and get it going. So, from my wreck of a Mark II, I'll catch you on another day on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Leave a comment and I'll see you in a few days.